right, it's Way Up with Angela Yee, and it is time for your Yeetie. Now, Paul Pierce made a bet and had to make good on that bet. He believed that the Celtics would beat the Knicks in Game 2 of the playoff series, and here is him being adamant and standing 10 toes down in that.
If the Celtics lose Game 2 at home, I promise you, I'm walking here tomorrow in my robe, no shoes on.
Well, guess what happened? And Dan, you were watching the game.
Amazing game.
Amazing game. And, you know, he lost that bet. Some people don't believe that he actually walked. They said it was a 7-hour journey. Here is what he had to say.
I can't believe this. Celtics got me out here like this, dog. I'm way out here. I'm stepping, though. Here we go, baby. Here we go.
You know, I saw people on social media saying the timing wasn't adding up about how far he had to walk and so on and so forth. And he said no means of transportation other than his feet. So not sure, but he is acting like he really walked. You believe him?
I actually do, because he was on
he said
live.
He got up at 5 a.m.
Yeah, and he was going on live every hour to check in.
That's a great workout. All right, now in other sports news, on Gil's Arena, Kenyon Martin got into it with Nick Young, and basically he was upset that Nick Young pulled out his phone in the middle of the podcast and was showing Gilbert Arenas something, and here is how the two of them went back and forth.
I'm trying not to tell Nick shut the up while I'm talking.
We were talking about Greg Popovich, his legacy.
Like, just rude. Just nobody give a about your phone over talking about something important.
He over here talking.
Yeah, about the wrong thing.
And you want to talk like you on the porch.
Dumb ass over here trying to conduct the show, and you over here just constantly. We're trying to shut the up.
I'm never going to shut up now.
He said, I'm never going to shut up. And he was still trying to show Gilbert Arenas something on his phone, but they went back and forth. What did you think about that interaction about Nick Young pulling out his phone? Because I do feel like there's a way you could check somebody, but it don't have to be like that.
Yeah, I think that was a bad look to do that on air.
Yeah.
Because you want to show you got good chemistry, right?
Yeah, and apparently they didn't. I think they had to end the episode early.
They did. They ended
because of that. All right, now Drake, people are saying that he is a hypocrite, and UMG is saying he's a hypocrite because of his latest filing to dismiss his defamation lawsuit against. Drake has been called out as they're trying to dismiss his defamation lawsuit against them. He recently amended that lawsuit to update it. He said there's more evidence to support his claims of being defamed, and he talked about Kendrick's performance at the Super Bowl. And so, you know, I don't know what's going to happen with this whole lawsuit. People are talking about how important it is to watch and follow this. But the statement from UMG says that Drake is a hypocrite given his own songs contained claims about Kendrick Lamar. They also said that when you get into a battle and do things like that, when you get into a rap beef, you have to anticipate that there's going to be defamatory things. So if you engage in that creative expression, then you're kind of allowing for that to happen because you said things about Kendrick. Kendrick said things about you. So they said nowhere in that legal, quote, blather written by Drake's lawyers do they bother to acknowledge that Drake himself has written and performed massively successful songs containing equally provocative taunts against other artists, nor do they mention that it was Drake who started this particular exchange. So we'll see what happens with that. But one thing that came out of all this, Rick Ross does say he's open to ending his beef with Drake and that it wasn't really that serious at all. So there you have it. Well, that is your Yeetie. When we come back, we have Under the Radar. These are the stories that are not necessarily in the headlines. They're flying under the radar, but you need to know about them. Former President Joe Biden was on The View yesterday, and he took some responsibility for Trump beating the Democrats in 2024. We'll tell you what he had to say. It's Way Up.
Way up.